Okay, so we are live on Instagram and we are live on YouTube. Okay, I did not get any questions this week. I always ask Wednesdays. I put out a post in Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Ask for questions. Didn't get any questions this week. Okay, so like I said, so definitely go ahead and just ask any questions that you have. Okay, since I don't have anything prepared. And yes, we'll do this. I haven't been posting um, as many videos lately. Okay. And the reason is I'm actually working on something new. Okay. I'm definitely working on something new now. So um, definitely, if there's anything that you guys are interested in, like finding out about, learning about, and it does not necessarily to be fitness or diet related. Okay. Anything that you guys are interested in learning, just go ahead and let me know. It's going to be a matter of, like I said, I mean, I'm what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm going to start up a way that everybody can have a little bit more access, a little bit more private access to me, and you're going to be able to get like all the information that I have. Um, and like I said, this is going to go beyond just fitness and diet. This is also going to go into like smaller little workouts that I've been doing that I haven't really been, posting a lot about. This is also going to go into, like I said, some of the self-defense, okay, some of the martial arts training that I do. So a lot of smaller things. There'd be a lot more stuff going on. So like I said, I mean, relationships, mindset, definitely a lot of mindset, definitely a lot of motivation. So like I said, just let me know if there is anything that you guys are interested in learning. Okay, and like I said, it does not just have to be fitness, it does not just have to be diet. Okay, good. Okay, like I said, I haven't really been getting just for some reason I did not get any questions this week. um cool. Okay, anyway, so like I said, that's also another thing is I'd like for anybody who's bought any of my programs, okay, especially low carb cutting and bulking, but if you've got the anaerobics workout, the anaerobics diet as well, definitely would like to know what some things you would like to have improved upon, okay, because I'm going to be creating an entirely different I'm going to be not redoing the programs. I mean, the programs are very good the way they are, but I'm going to present them in a different way. I'm going to be bringing in a lot of additional material like cheat sheets, worksheets, things that you can go ahead and continue to use. To go ahead, and also I'm going to be breaking down every chapter in a short video. So basically, like every chapter, every part of every diet, every workout is going to be like a video with me actually explaining it to you, so you could see like in my own words live. Basically, okay, what is it that I'm going to be talking about? What is this one section of the diet, or what's this one aspect of the workout? And also, like I said, you're going to have like cheat sheets and and worksheets like that that will help you go ahead and get more. You'll get like more value out of it. It'll help you get, it'll help allow you to, do the things more easily. So like I said, if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like me to explain better that you've bought one of these programs, or if you're interested in buying any of these programs, just go ahead and, like I said, let me know and I certainly will build it in to these new system that I've got. Okay, somebody asked about pre-workouts. I do not like pre-workouts. Okay, if you guys know, I work out first thing in the morning. Okay, and what I do is I take a caffeine tablet. It's like 200 milligrams of caffeine, so it's the same as like a cup of coffee or two. The reason I take the caffeine tablet is because, like I said, I work out very early in the morning. I work out first thing in the morning. So what I do is I just get out of bed. Usually it's like 4:45 in the morning. Take the caffeine tablet, start drinking water so I'm hydrated for when I go to the gym. And by the time I'm done brushing my teeth, throwing some water on my face, getting my gym clothes on, the caffeine's kicked in and I'm woke up. Okay, so it's basically like having a cup of coffee, but it goes a lot faster. I don't have to actually go in and make the coffee and drink the coffee, and I don't have to add anything into it. So it's basically just like getting caffeine into my system in the morning. Aside from that, in terms of pre-workout, I like to eat before I work out. Okay, so if I'm doing a low carb lean bulk, I basically like to take something that's usually based on dairy. either whole milk mixed with mixed with heavy cream or just heavy cream, usually some raw eggs in there. So I have some fat in my stomach when I go to the gym. If I'm on the pure protein diet, what I'll usually do is I'll make, depending upon my macros, I'll have some whole eggs and some egg whites. So I get my protein, I get a little bit of fat. I usually cook that in advance, okay? And I just throw, the glass, not the plastic. God, I know somebody's going to crucify me if I say use Tupperware, but I throw the glass container, okay, that I've stored that in into the microwave, throw some hot sauce on top, have that. And if I'm on the anaerobics diet, which means that I'm taking in some carbs before and after the workout, then I'll just drink some dextrose powder and whey protein before I go to the gym. But in terms of an actual pre-workout, I personally do not like them. Okay, personally, if you need something to wake you up before you go to the gym, you need to get more sleep. Okay, that's just, you need to get more sleep. If you need something to get you hyped up and pumped up, you need to make it your mindset straight. You need to get your motivation straight. So you don't have to get hyped up and all buzzed to go to the gym and get a decent workout. Um, like I said, I do not like pre-workouts. I have purchased like a caffeine drink or or some kind of a C4, I think, pre-workout or whatever. When all hell broke loose in my life, I was absolutely utterly exhausted. I ended up having to work out later in the evening. I got maybe a couple hours of sleep because of family problems, whatever happened. So yes, I understand the concept of occasionally using a pre-workout drink, but in general, I do not recommend you use it. I understand there are things in there like cell volumization, so that it supposedly gives you a better pump or whatever when you're in the gym. Not a big fan of it. Like I said, basically just get your nutrition right, get your sleep right, get your motivation right, and you don't really need a pre-workout unless, like I said, all hell breaks loose and you're literally falling asleep. That happens to me like, maybe once a month, maybe once every other month where I'm literally falling asleep. And I just go to the gym and I buy something in the gym and just drink it, some kind of an energy drink just to get through. But that's all I got really on pre-workouts. Definitely not a really big fan of them. Okay. What else you guys got? Yeah, okay, so Jim McKnight, great info. Prefer the vasodilators over the Stims pre-workout. Yeah, so vasodilators means it expands, the blood vessels in your muscle, which allows you to get a better pump, okay, over the stims, which is the stimulants. Interestingly enough, like I said, I'm not a big fan of pre-workouts, but I know I was watching a Rich Piana video and he was saying that, people put in vasodilators to pump up their muscles, but they also put in caffeine. And then he's like, somehow caffeine would like actually close up your blood vessels. So like if you get somebody jacked out of his mind by putting a lot of caffeine, a big number of caffeine, you're like, oh, so many million milligrams of caffeine. They sell they sell pre-workouts, but you're really working against yourself because, you have to have a certain amount of caffeine, but you don't have to have too much because that will, kind of ruin the point of having the vasodilators. So um, yeah, vasodilators. I know some people just go ahead and mix them themselves. They take a little citrulline malate and stuff like that. They'll take that before a workout to get a pump, but they wouldn't necessarily go too much into the stims. Also, some basic salt from Jim McKnight. Yeah, I definitely, make sure that I get plenty of salt. I do not take it pre-workout. I know some people, like I think Stan Efferdine says, take like a teaspoon of salt pre-workout. Wash it down with some water. I get a lot of salt all day on all my food, and I also have a couple months ago started using no salt. It's a sodium substitute, and what it is you pour in like it's potassium based instead of sodium. So I put sea salt for sodium, potassium no salt for potassium, and that's where I get my things in. Yohimbine, I used that. Okay, I used Yohimbine once. The thing with Yohimbine is it didn't really work. I was on the pure protein diet, and I this was when Enhanced Athlete first started coming out. So what I did was I went into I literally followed it. I figured out my lean weight. I figured out the dosage I should be getting of yohimbine. I got the yohimbine that was like the perfect version of yohimbine. Um, Not yohimbi, but yohimbine or whatever. I took it in the morning. I did fasted cardio. I did everything perfectly, exactly the way that people, that you're supposed to do it. And I got actually worse results than when I just jump on the pure protein diet in general. Okay, so yohimbine did not work for me. Okay, did not work for me. One thing I noticed is when I was doing this fasted cardio in the morning, I did notice that I was sweating a little bit more. So did it increase like a thermogenic activity? Did it increase my body temperature, my metabolism? Maybe. Okay, but yohimbine did not actually make me lose fat faster. Okay, can you use the Anaerobixx diet 3.0 for a bodybuilding workout style bulk? Yeah, you certainly can. The point, the difference between low carb cutting and bulking, which is basically a low carb lean bulk, and the pure protein diet and the anaerobics diet is the anaerobics diet has you taking in carbs before and after a workout. The reason for that is when I do a lot of high intensity explosive work, I get a better workout. I mean, like lots of dips, lots of jump rope intervals, lots of intervals hitting the bag, whatever. I get a much better workout if I get carbs right before and after the workout. The rest of the day, I take in protein and fat. So if I was going to do a bodybuilding style lean bulk, which I did, I bulked for like 18 months on low carbs, okay? And that's the way I do my bulks. But yes, the idea with the anaerobics diet is, like I said, you take carbs before and after your workout. The rest of the day you take in protein and fats. So you can certainly, by increasing the amount of fat you take in during the day, you can certainly bulk and build a lot of muscle on the anaerobics diet. As a matter of fact, that's the diet that I recommend for a really advanced program. Like, I know you guys have heard some of me. Sometimes I talk about doing like squats, doing deadlifts, and then doing intervals of squat tucks. Right, touch the ground, jump up, bring my knees to my chest, and do intervals of that. Then I'll do intervals of burpees. So what I'm basically doing is I'm doing heavy weights with the weighted squats, heavy weights with the deadlifts. Then I'm getting a pump and an anaerobic endurance workout by doing the squat tucks, by doing the burpees, etc. I do the exact same thing with the upper body. I'll do heavy weighted dips, and then I'll do like explosive push-ups for intervals. So that is when I would suggest you also use the anaerobics diet 3.0, because like I said, you're doing heavy weights, but you're also doing high volume, high intensity, plyometric intervals. So definitely, like I said, that's an advanced workout. That's when you're in shape and you want to get like bigger and leaner at the same time. You want to go from being like in good shape to being like, Rambo. Okay. What we got here? The Vince Gironda weight gain diet is insane. 6'1", 178 to 180. It's still getting leaner, eating 3,500 calories of meat, eggs, cream, and whey. Yes, Stefan Fischbach. That is exactly the way it works, okay? I really do, like I said, if you're going to be doing a bodybuilding type workout, if you're not going to be doing a lot of intensity intervals, if you're not going to be doing a lot of sports training, if you're going to do bodybuilding, I got excellent results doing low carb, high fat, high protein. Like the guy said, he's 178, 180, he's taking in 3,500 calories and still getting leaner, okay? That's exactly, that's basically what I was doing. Okay, by not taking in carbs, which you don't need to build muscle, you don't need to fuel a workout unless you're doing intervals or, playing tennis, doing karate, doing boxing or whatever. You don't need any kind of, hi, Sandy Ortiz. You do not need any kind of carbs to fuel, a weight workout. So, all you're basically getting is you're getting fat to raise your testosterone, fat to provide energy, and you're getting protein to build muscle. So that's really all you need. By not taking carbs, you're not spiking your insulin. You're not like inspiring your body to store anything as fat. So you could eat a lot more, like, 178, 180 pounds this guy weighs. He's taking 3,500 calories and getting leaner. Like I said, it's crazy how well a low carb lean bulk works. Okay. Okay. What should someone eat in place of almonds if you can't have those? I have used peanuts. Okay, I got like raw peanuts, like Spanish peanuts, I think they were called. They were okay. The absolute best nuts in the world are macadamia nuts. They're high fat, they're lowish protein, low carbs. They're also expensive. Okay. So, like I said, you could also use, instead of using almonds, you could also use, macadamia nuts, which are even better. You can use peanuts if you have to. Just basically make sure that you don't have too many carbs in whatever kind of nuts you choose. You also don't even need to take nuts. I'm assuming you're talking about like either the anaerobics diet or the pure protein diet. You could also just add in eggs if you want. Like I said, one of my meals that I take on the pure protein diet a lot of times is I'll just have whole eggs for protein and fat, and I'll mix it with egg whites for protein. Okay, and I'll just play around with the numbers to get the macronutrient ratio I want. Um, yeah, what I think about Hydroxycut, Romero Hamilton. Hydroxycut was kind of awesome back in the day. Okay, it was great back in the day. Then they went ahead and they got rid of. They kind of like made it illegal to use ephedrine in a pre-workout. Use ephedrine in a fat burner. So I don't know if it really works very well. I personally tried Rip Fuel when I was younger. I did not feel good on Ripped Fuel. Okay, I did not feel good on Ripped Fuel. So, like I said, I did not feel good on the ECA stack. I've done a video on this, but people did get good results. But I don't know about Hydroxycut these days. Like I said, it might help you stay on a diet by providing you with energy if you're kind of lagging because you're on low calories. It might help you stay on a diet by keeping your hunger down. Okay, but I mean, what's the difference between that and just taking a normal caffeine tablet? I don't know. Why would someone gain weight when eating increased protein? Um, Michelle Owen, I don't know what you're talking about. You usually don't. Protein is really hard. Protein is really hard to gain weight on. Okay, there's actually something called rabbit starvation or protein poisoning, which basically means if all you take in is protein, you don't take in fats, you don't take in carbs, you'll die. Okay, because you won't have any energy. I mean, it's really hard. People talk about gluconeogenesis, which is turning protein into glucose and kicking you out of ketosis. That's bullshit. The fact of the matter is it's really difficult to burn protein for energy, and it's very difficult to store protein as fat. It is hard. Rabbit starvation is basically if all you eat is rabbit meat, which apparently is very lean, and no carbs or fat, you will die because you won't have any energy. You'll just drop dead. It's like malnutrition no matter how much you eat. As a matter of fact, the Indians, like the American Indians, used to say that, the people would, no matter how much they ate of rabbit, they would still be more and more hungry and they would like go crazy and die. So, like I said, it's really impossible to gain weight when eating increased protein, unless maybe you're talking about growing some muscle. I don't know, but it's really difficult. That's why every diet that I have is based around protein. Every diet that I have is based around protein. If you need more energy, okay, whether it's to repair, muscle after a workout, whether it's to fuel your body, to fuel your workouts, the more you need, the more fat you add in. Okay. If you need to do high intensity work, okay, like explosive repeated sprint type work, then you'll maybe add in some carbs before and after a workout. But like I said, everything's based around protein because you need protein to build muscle, to maintain muscle. It's impossible, almost impossible to store it as fat. Um, okay. Unrund. Hi, sir. Where can we find Vince Gironda's free workout plans? Nobody wants to share them for free, even as DVDs, though they are half a century old. Um, there are sites where you can buy them pretty cheaply. You can buy all of his books relatively cheaply. I think it's called the ironguru.com. I think it's called ironguru.com or theironguru.com. They have like all of his original pamphlets there. Um, just buy his shit. It's not that expensive. Okay. And yeah, they're half a century old, but they're worth it. Okay. Because it's the shit. Okay, ephedrine. Okay, nothing beat the original Oxy Elite Pro. Yeah, I don't remember that one. I mean, I guess that's a fat burner or something like that. I remember that that one particular. But yeah, like I said, Rip Fuel was the first one that really brought it out. Sandy Ortiz, how about creatine? Creatine. I think I do a video about this recently. I don't know. I was thinking about doing a video. Maybe I didn't upload it. Creatine. When I was a kid back in the 90s was like you take creatine and it goes into your muscles and it soaks up water and it pumps up your muscles and you gain like 10 pounds overnight. I never was a big fan of that because as soon as you stop taking creatine, you urinate it out and all that water weight goes away, so who cares. I never really got great results from creatine, and then I started trying creatine when I was getting ready for an amateur MMA event. uh I did one on creatine. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so the thing is, like I said, the thing about creatine that I really noticed it is I would do explosive workouts. I would do like sprints, okay? Like a couple 400-meter sprints, like 6 200-meter sprints and 10 or 12 100-meter sprints. I would do burpees, I would do jump rope intervals. Everything was explosive. Uh, and one time, I just got like really good results. Like it was like within just a few days, I was feeling so much more explosive doing the sprints. I was really ripping off the start line. I was just really exploding, going from 0 to 100 and like nothing flat. The same thing with the burpees, the same thing with everything else. And it wasn't because I got was getting in shape, because it usually takes like so long for me to get in shape where I actually enjoy the explosive workouts. And here it was like a much shorter time, and I was like really killing it in these explosive workouts. And I realized what I did is I added in creatine. Don't worry about, like I said, so that's the only time that I recommend creatine. I don't recommend it in a normal bulking diet. I mean, I'm not saying don't use it, fine, but it's not something that I've gotten great value out of. But in the anaerobics diet, where, like I said, you're doing jump rope intervals, you're doing burpee intervals, you're doing plyometric intervals, stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely feel more explosive when I'm taking creatine. Do not worry about any loading phase. Just take 5 grams a day, and you'll notice the difference in a short amount of time. Liked DMAA, been debating buying some on Alibaba. Not an expert on DMAA. To clarify, I've been trying out your pure protein diet for a week and a half now. My weight's going up, not down. It's a big increase for me protein wise. Okay, there are a couple different things that people do on the pure protein diet. Now, one of them is what you do is a lot of people use the wrong weight to figure out their macros. Okay, so like let's say I weigh 250 pounds, okay, and like my goal weight is 200 pounds. Let's say you weigh 250, but you'd be like 8 or 10% body fat if you weighed 200. Use 200 pounds, use your goal body weight to calculate your macros, okay? A lot of people, and this doesn't usually happen with women. This usually happens more with men. But what happens a lot with men is they'll be like, "Oh, I'll weigh 250 pounds, and if I get to 200, I'll be ripped." No, dude, you never worked out in your life. If you weigh 250, you probably have to get down to like 160, maybe 150. You don't have 50 pounds to lose. You have like 70, 80, maybe 100 pounds to lose. So if somebody who weighs 250 but has to get down to 150 thinks, well, I'm going to use 200 as my goal body weight, he's taking in the calories for a 200-pound person when he's really a 150-pound person. So, Michelle Owen, make sure you figure out exactly what your goal body weight is and figure out your calories for your goal body weight. Okay? So, like I said, if you weigh, like I said, if you're a 250-pound guy and you have to get down to 180 to be relatively lean, figure all your macros, your protein intake, your fat intake, and your calories for 180. Also, make sure you drink plenty of water, make sure you get plenty of sleep, make sure you take fiber, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole lot of stuff, that goes to it together. But like I said, the biggest culprit usually when somebody is making mistakes on the pure protein diet is they're taking in just too many calories. Okay, good. Okay, no rest between sets, not training traps, or lower lats, and no bench press, squats, deadlifts was Venture's philosophy. How much of it can be proved correct today? What do you think? The 36 egg diet. Okay, so first, okay, so not training lower lats, not training traps. I don't know about Vince Gironda saying don't train traps. I know that Steve Reeves said don't train traps because if you're trying to get like a wide shoulder and a small waist and a V taper, if you get like traps, you're going to be becoming more of an O shape or like a diamond shape instead of like a V shape, like an upside down triangle. So that was Steve Reeves' reason for not training traps. And he said, unless you're a power lifter, okay? If you're a power lifter, you need it. Now, what Vince Gironda said about not training traps, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it was, if I never heard specifically him say that, but if he did, it's probably the same idea. Um, no bench press. He did a bench press. It was like a bench press to the neck. Okay, it wasn't like a standard bench press. He also suggested people do ring flies. Okay, flies on rings. That was one of his things. He said don't do squats because squats will make a big ass. Okay. He had women doing squats because I guess women even back in the day wanted a big ass. But other than women, he had no men doing squats. In terms of doing deadlifts, yeah, no, he didn't really say that. So he didn't really have people doing deadlifts. The idea is this: Vince Gironda was for nutrition, natural training. Yes, of course, people who train in his gym use steroids, but I mean, he was not a big proponent of steroids. It was basically just to look like, to look good. Okay. So when I train personally, I do deadlift because I want to be strong. I do squats because I want to be strong. Okay. I indirectly train by traps when I do my deadlift because I need to have, because your traps get worked when you pull weight off the ground. So the point I'm trying to make is Vince Gironda was really basically just into aesthetics. That's why the guy could weigh like 170, 180, and look awesome because everything he had was in the perfect place. There was no muscle anywhere that, took away from his V taper. There's no muscle anywhere there that made him look big, but not like really good. So the point I'm trying to make here is Vince Gironda trained you to look good. Like these days, you might call someone like a men's physique athlete. Someone who wants to have a tight waist and a wide back and whatever. Even men's physique athletes are so into steroids these days, whatever. But yeah, the point is, how much of it can be proved correct today? Yes, if you're talking about getting proportions, if you're talking about being aesthetically pleasing, if you're talking about what Vince Gironda himself said, we're not weightlifters, he said, bodybuilding is all about illusion, then yes, it all still stays, it still is very true today. Vince's philosophy on training is 100% true today. Assuming you don't want to be a giant steroid using bodybuilder, and assuming you don't want to be an athlete, and assuming you don't, just want to look like The Rock or whatever and just be huge, it's certainly true what he said. The 36 egg a day diet. Vince Gironda had a diet. You would mix 3 dozen eggs a day. Okay, raw eggs, mix them with half and half. It was basically 1 fluid ounce of half and half per egg. And you'd have like 1 or 2 meals of meat. It's a great diet. It certainly does work. Do not take 36 eggs a day. I've done 12 eggs a day, 2 6-egg shakes with half and half, and I got great results. Okay, now that I'm bigger than that, I probably have to take maybe another one. But the point is, yes, it certainly does work in theory. It certainly does work. Don't blindly take in 36 eggs a day and 2 pounds of meat and think it's going to work great. Like I said, Vince Gironda put out these diets, as like, this is how the diet works. But when he worked with a person one-on-one, he'd be like, you take 36 eggs a day, you take 12 eggs a day, you take 18 eggs a day. Not everybody needs 36 eggs a day. It's just the way it is. So like I said, but the concept of mixing eggs and half and half, that's that's a lot. Experimenting with that is where I got a lot of my ideas from my low carb cutting and bulking from. Okay, why most men don't look like Mario's whatchamacallit when he's a strongman. He's ripped, massive, and fast. He won 5 strongman championships. Most strongmen are bulky. Diet is basically probably just a lot of it. I mean, it's the same thing with powerlifters. I mean, the typical powerlifter is just a big disgusting fat ass because there's no reason to not eat constantly all day and become a big disgusting fat ass. Okay, but if you look at a power lifter that has an actual weight class, like I remember seeing power lifters um, on the Olympics, it's just like Romanian power lifters. They're just walking around through the Olympic Village in like shorts and a t-shirt. Those guys look fucking awesome. I'd a million times rather look like one of those weight class power lifters than a bodybuilder because they were awesome. Rock hard muscle. They were in awesome shape. So, like I said, the difference between a strong man or a power lifter or even a weightlifter in the gym and somebody who looks really good is basically just diet. I mean, I've noticed a lot of people in the gym are big, like very muscular. I moved towns and changed gyms recently. It's the same chain but a different location. Where I'm at right now, there are a lot of big guys, and a lot of them are fat. And it's like, dude, I'm just, like if you would get your diet straight and you would lose like 5, 10, 15, 20, depending pounds and get lean, you'd be fucking incredible. But you're not because you're fat. It's like, dude, just get your shit straight. So that's the difference. That's the difference between a fat power lifter and, whatever. And once again, let's talk about Elliot Holes. I've talked about Elliot Holes before. Uh, you know, he's been fat and chubby, okay, and then sometimes he got lean and he looked really damn good. He had that like rock barbarian, like Dwayne Johnson, kind of like a barbarian or like a Conan look where he was just like really big. He wasn't necessarily shaped like a bodybuilder, but when he got some definition in his body, he was looking pretty fucking athletic, pretty fucking good. Um, yeah, so that's what basically it is. Okay, Emil Castro. I've been doing the pure protein diet for 2 weeks to try to lose body fat, feeling a bit tired before my workouts, but pushing hard. What diet should I follow after? Steak and eggs diet, more fat. Um, well, in my program, okay, the pure protein diet is kind of easy. Okay, and I've got a lot of videos on it. But in my program, okay, which is part of the low carb cutting and bulking product I sell, I actually teach you how to come out of the pure protein diet. Basically, what you have is you have a few different things to do after you're done with the pure protein diet. One of them is just slowly transition out. You have to slowly increase your calories. It's all going to be protein and fat, so you just slowly increase your fat as you come out of it. It's like reverse dieting keto version to come from the pure protein diet into like more of a standard diet, standard keto diet. The other possibility is if you want to continue losing, is to do something that I call fat cycling. Okay, it's like carb cycling, but it's fat cycling. You can't stay on the pure protein diet forever because it's like really low fat as well as low carb. But what you could do is after you get this first burst of fat loss is you can do on like your easy workout days, you can take in more fat, and on your recovery days or your cardio and ab days or whatever, you could just go stay on the pure protein diet. So it kind of like goes back and forth. Um, what about no rest between sets? Does it increase intensity between sets, and can we transform much faster? I don't know what you're talking about. I see it like this, okay? When I do a interval, like let's say I do 10 push-ups, I'll push myself off the ground, touch my chest, I'll jump up front and back over a barrier, whatever. I'll do jumping plyometric type exercise. I wait basically 30 seconds. When I do jump rope intervals, I take a short break, etc., etc., etc. And what I'm doing by then is I'm training my body to recover quickly. So, like, let's say, you're in a fight, you throw a flurry of punches, and then you kind of circle for a little bit. If you can recover in those few seconds and your opponent can't, you're going to win. Okay, so that's how I do in terms of keeping my rest in between sets down when I do high intensity anaerobic endurance type work. Now, No rest between sets for weights. I always wait a long time in between sets because I try really hard to do the heaviest weight possible. Okay, so I will actually go up to like 5 minutes, 4 minutes of rest in between sets when I'm doing deadlifts, weighted dips, etc. Because I want every set to be fresh. You know, if I do 180 pounds additional weight for dips, then I want to go ahead and take like a good 3-5 minute rest so I can hit the second set just as hard as the first one. Okay, so it really depends upon what you're talking about. If you're doing intervals, probably you're going to keep your rest in between sets down to 30 seconds to train your body to recover quickly. If you're doing heavy weights, okay, low reps, you probably want to bump it up to several minutes in between heavy sets. I'm the Kyokushin guy. Did the anaerobics diet. It works. I got crazy lean and I won the tournament. The best diet for fast weight loss and feeling great. Fucking congratulations. Us, definitely awesome. This guy reached out to me because he said he needed to get lean for a Kyokushin, which is a bare knuckle, full contact knockdown karate tournament. I helped him out with the anaerobics diet, and he says he got crazy lean. He won the tournament. It's the best diet for fast weight loss and feeling great. Awesome. Awesome. That's the point. The point to the anaerobics diet is to give your body everything you need to work out, okay? But nothing you don't need. So you get a tiny bit of carbs before and after a workout. You know, you get protein all day. You get a little bit of fat throughout the day, okay? So you're fueling your workouts. You're fueling your training. You're fueling your day, but you're not taking in any extra. So like the mantra that I always had when I was on that diet was like, you know, feed the muscle, starve the fat. Okay, so awesome, dude. I am extraordinarily proud of you. Congratulations on winning your tournament. That's friggin' awesome, and thank you very much for the kind words. Someone like that, like I said, a fighter, karate guy, definitely the perfect candidate for the anaerobics diet. Absolutely the person that's made for. Aman Arand, is creatine and whey isolate good enough for looking good? For bodybuilding. I mean, you know, like I said, I don't. Creatine is good for me when I'm doing sprints or I'm doing some kind of an explosive, you know, burpees or whatever. I don't really, you know, creatine isn't really necessary for. Creatine is not really necessary for you know, bodybuilding, in my opinion. Whey isolate. I'd suggest you go ahead and you get your food right first. Okay, get your food that you eat first, and then start worrying about whey isolate and creatine. Like I said, the only times that I recommend creatine and whey protein is on the anaerobics diet, and that's because you're going to be taking in carbs right before and right after your workout. Okay, so the idea is if you take in dextrose powder, which is, you know, a form of carbs that goes right into your muscles, not into your liver, and whey protein, you get protein and carbs right into your muscles right before the workout and then right after the workout. Other than that, most of the time, I suggest you guys stick with meat, eggs, nuts, you know, cream, butter, stuff like that. So definitely, before you start looking into whey isolate and creatine, look into your your straight food. All right, Sandy Ortiz, I'm doing both, and it's working with me. Okay. Thoughts on a diet of raw milk, yogurt, and steamed carrots? I don't know about that. I mean, that's not something I would jump on, because there would be a whole lot of you know, carbs in that for me if I was eating enough milk, yogurt, and carrots to survive on. I would be taking in too many carbs for it to be a keto low carb diet. So that's not really my way of doing it. I do know that Stallone, apparently, when he first started working out, he was being trained by Franco Columbu. Okay, Franco Columbu had him taking in nothing but yogurt. Okay, and he says, you know, he didn't like the diet. He didn't do that very well on it. Yeah, that's that. Like I said, that's not my thing. Raw milk, yogurt, and steamed. I have no idea where'd you get that idea from? Who came up with that idea? I've never heard of that. Um, like I said, I've never heard of that before. But like I said, it certainly wouldn't be anything for me because if I was going to take in enough of everything, um, like I said, if I was going to take in enough yogurt, milk, and carrots to give me all my calories and all my protein, I would it would probably not be enough fat and probably too many carbs for me. But that's just me though. Pat was right. I don't take either anymore. Getting the best results of my life. Ground beef and eggs is working incredibly. Yeah, ground beef and eggs. 80% ground chuck is like 70% calories from fat. So that's like a perfect keto kind of food right there. And if you need any more protein, you need any more fat, just go ahead and throw in some eggs. Yeah, I've definitely done that before. Take 8 ounces of ground beef and throw in a couple eggs. Definitely work. Check out Gainer's Paradise channel. Both of you guys are providing almost the same old school tips. You both are great. Okay, I'll check that out. Gainer's Paradise. Cool. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, like I said, I said this at the beginning, and there weren't a whole lot of people on in the beginning, and there are different people on now. Definitely, if you have got any of my programs, the Anaerobixx diet, low carb cutting and bulking, or the Anaerobixx workout, or if you're interested in getting them, okay, let me know what you would like to know. Let me know, what you thought about the programs, if anything wasn't clear, because I'm going to be redoing the presentation of all of my products. I'm going to be putting a lot more video, a lot more downloadable PDF cheat sheets, summary sheets and stuff like that. It's going to be the same information, but it's going to be much clearer. Okay, so I'm definitely, like I said, if you got any of my programs, just let me know. Send me an email, bob@anaerobixx.com, what you thought about it. And what you'd like me to go ahead and elaborate upon, because I'm really going to be improving the quality of the presentation. Okay, I'm losing weight. I decided the steamed carrots. Yes. So anyway, like I said, that's basically going to be what I'm going to be doing a lot of now. Okay, in case anybody noticed, I haven't been uploading so much. I've moved. Okay, to a new town, moved to a new house. I need to recreate my little film studio. I need to redo a lot of the website. I need to redo a lot of the products. Like I said, it's going to be the same products, but there's going to be, in addition to the material I send out now, there could be a lot more additional information in terms of, like I said, short videos that explain every single part of every single diet or every single workout individually. So, like I said, definitely let me know what you guys would like to learn, or let me know what you guys would like me to elaborate on. I know a big deal that people are talking about these days. I know a lot of people are talking about these days is basically how to recompose your body, okay, gain weight, gain muscle, and lose fat at the same time. Certainly something that I'm going to be hitting on more, okay, in the future. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, definitely go ahead and let me know. Okay, how many years you working out from? Okay, I'm 45. Next week I'm gonna be 45. When I was 39, I lost a lot of weight and got very lean. Okay, and I spent years just working with getting lean. That's when I developed the pure protein diet. I started adding in calisthenics, but it was just body weight calisthenics. It was about 2 years ago that I added in weights. So I did weighted dips instead of body weight dips, weighted squats instead of body weight squats. So it's been about, almost 5 years that I've been exercising and eating okay properly. And it's about 2 years since I've actually added in some, weights to my calisthenics. Okay, seeking truth in Christ. I'm losing weight. Decided to try a lacto-vegetarian diet for a week. I lost weight, but I tried porridge, gave me too much gas. Decided to try raw milk, yogurt, and carrots. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, definitely see what what worked for you. If something gave you too much gas, you're not digesting properly. You might want to look at the digestive enzymes, and it's also a lot of times it has to do what your body's used to. So if your body is used to, eating, like me right now, I'm used to eating a lot of meat and a lot of fat and protein. If I were to eat a lot of carbs, I'm not producing the same enzymes as I used to when I was eating carbs. So it would certainly would certainly, be difficult for me in the beginning. So like I said, definitely if you're not digesting something properly, you're going to be producing gas. So look into digestive enzymes. Thyroid cancer, thank God I'm better now. I'm cancer free. I've also been taking care of myself. The way I look, so good. It's working out for me. Thank you so much for your knowledge. I almost missed you because I was at the gym. 53 years old. Oh, damn, no shit. You were at the gym in Jacksonville, I guess? That's pretty awesome. Cool. All right, guys. Like I said, every Friday at noon Eastern time, I'm definitely going to be doing these videos. Definitely going to be doing these videos. So like I said, Wednesdays when I go ahead and ask for questions, go ahead and let me know. One of my biceps feels harder than the other, even though I train both equally. Any thoughts on correcting this? My left arm, I'm left-handed. I'm arm dominant. My left arm is an inch smaller than my right arm. Okay. And I think the reason is because when I was younger and I used to lift weights, I would do like right arm curl, left arm curl. So over a couple years of doing this, what happened is I was doing a substantial number, because if I was doing like, curls and like I got half a curl with my right arm, I wouldn't do one with my left because I failed, right? So I'm thinking basically what happened is that's how I ended up like that. I did a video, I didn't quite upload it yet, but it was about bringing up a lagging body part. And the point I was trying to make is that people are noticing my quads. My thighs are becoming a strong body part, and they used to be so weak compared to my calves. Okay, my calves were always a very strong body part, like really, really, really strong. Like everybody was impressed by my calves, and my quads were like weak. Okay, so what people were basically saying, people were noticing now that my quads are strong. And the point is this: just try to grow every single body part that you've got. Do not slow down, a lagging body part, because the idea is basically my calves are, have been huge for a long time, but they haven't gotten any bigger. My quads have got plenty of room. Even now, they have plenty of room to grow. So, my calves grew quickly to their maximum, and my quads are catching up, but my calves are not getting any bigger. So like I said, do not worry about a lagging body part, okay? If it's a muscular imbalance, left side, right side, like I said, my thought about that is basically, like I said, I think what happened was I was doing dumbbell curls when in my 20s years ago, and I would do right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm, and then if I failed with my right arm, I wouldn't do it with my left arm, which meant I was doing a lot more half reps and a lot more, hard reps with my right than my left, so that's why that happened. Yeah. I'm from Greece, and the ancient Olympic pancration athletes only eat meat, fish, vegetables, and nuts and fruits only before the workout, really similar to the anaerobics diet. Yeah, basically. Man, I love Greece. I love, the whole concept of like, the way that a Greek salad is. It's just basically greens with a couple of they have olives and feta and stuff like that. I mean, I love the guy. I just love, the Mediterranean, but especially the Greek, the Greek diet. Yeah, the ancient pancration athletes, the original MMA fighters, the original holds barred fighters, ate only meat, fish, vegetables, and nuts, and the fruits only before the workout, similar to the anaerobics diet. Excellent. Okay, Street Truck and Titan. What do you think of intermittent fasting? Yay or nay? I grew up in the 90s, right? I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. Back then, you had to eat every 3 hours or you die, okay? I'm not a big fan of, I'm not a really big fan of intermittent fasting, because it's just in my head. I have to eat every few hours. I feel best eating every few hours. One of the reasons why I felt bad when I didn't eat properly, okay, when I got fat and just was eating crap, is because I'd have like coffee and maybe a donut, and then I wouldn't eat for 5 hours, then I'd be hungry. I personally feel best when I eat, every few hours. I do not do well on intermittent fasting. That's me personally. I have trained a lot of people that were doing intermittent fasting. I'm certainly not going to tell someone that if they're getting great results and they like intermittent fasting, I'm not going to say don't do it. But it's not my thing. I certainly do not feel very good on. I do not feel very good on doing intermittent fasting. Try it, see if it works for you. Okay. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Your live streams are legendary. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that shows up to these live streams, really, because, like I said, this is something new I'm trying. And definitely thank you very much for everyone that comes. Tips for forearm strength. Yeah, okay, forearm strength, hang from a pull-up bar. Try to work it up to a minute, and then try to hang from a pull-up bar with one arm. It will kill you. Okay, hanging from a pull-up bar with one arm is really hard. That will catch, your hand strength and your squeezing strength. Okay. Um, in terms of forearm stability, like if you throw a punch and not have your wrist give out, try the wrist roller. Just look up wrist roller. Um, yeah, wrist roller. Basically, what you do is you grab a pipe. Just look it up in the Google. You'll find out what it is. That's really good for your stability in your forearm. Okay, Drew K. Thank you, stranger. My less dominant arm is the harder of the two. Maybe I need to add extra work to level it out. Like I said, my problem with my arms, I really seriously think is I would do right bicep curl, left bicep curl, right press, and then I would do like one fail, and then I wouldn't do one for the left. So over years, I built up a bigger right bicep, even though I'm left dominant. Towel pull-ups. Yeah, towel pull-ups are really good. Towel pull-ups are really good if you do some kind of grappling. I never liked grappling with a gi. I always liked, just bare chested. I hate somebody grabbing onto my shirt and me not being able to get them off. But yeah, if you are doing jiu-jitsu especially, it's really good to do towel pull-ups. You just throw a towel over a bar, you just do pull-ups on it, or just hang from the towel. G. That's an awesome name. What's a good source of fats besides meat and butter? Um, if you want a little bit of fat, okay, I like using nuts, mostly almonds. Like I said, macadamia nuts are the awesome ones because they have a lot of fat, very little protein, very little carbs. Eggs, whole eggs are awesome for fat. Be careful with nut butters because you might go over on carbs. Oils are good. Okay. Coconut oil is great. You could just take a spoon of coconut oil or put it onto your food or throw some olive oil on your food or do a shot of olive oil. And dairy. I get along great with dairy. I love dairy. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll mix like store-bought half and half with raw eggs. Okay. It's not 50% milk, 50% heavy cream. It's actually fewer calories and less fat. Then if I want to add in more fat, I will mix half, 50% whole milk and 50% cream. If I want to add in even more fat, then I'll just have straight up heavy cream, mix that with raw eggs and drink that. So like I said, dairy for me, I do very well on dairy. That's one of my favorite ways to add fat to a diet. Is there something in my closet? I fucking hope not. I hope it's not like a monster or something. Does the bridge exercise like the wrestling one, is it legit for neck strength? Yeah, definitely. I love doing back bridges on my head. I love doing back bridges on my shoulders. I love doing front bridges on my head, and I love doing a headstand with no arms. I just put my feet up against the wall for stability. Those are all awesome for neck strength. I said that I'm going to be coming out with a new website where I'm going to be able to show a whole lot of little workouts, and one of them is a workout that I like to do, which is based totally on holding static positions. Holding handstands, one arm handstands, bridging, planking, wall sit, different variations of that. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of neck training with the bridge. And a lot of people are going to say, that you're going to cause problems with your cervical spine doing the bridge. And the fact is, for every person that says that, there's another person whose life was saved by doing a bridge, and that's me. I actually had, I thought I had a problem with my shoulder, then I thought I had a problem with my trap. What it was really a problem was with my neck, like my spine. My cervical spine was kind of fucked up. And by me actually doing the back bridge and the front bridge, it actually cured whatever problem I have with my spine. So like I said, I mean, I'm not telling you to go out and do bridges, and if you fuck yourself up, it's my fault, but I am saying it certainly worked for me. It was awesome. Okay, thoughts on Vince Gironda's 36 eggs a day diet. It's a great idea. You mix raw eggs, one raw egg with one fluid ounce of half and half, and you have like 1 or 2 meals of just meat. Do not do 36 eggs a day, okay? The idea is, yeah, you mix raw eggs with half and half, drink them, and you have a couple meals of meat, but you do not necessarily need to take in 36 a day. You know, try taking in 6 eggs, 6 fluid ounces, half and half. I throw in powdered cinnamon. Try doing that for breakfast once in a while. Try adding in one at night. Okay, that's 12 eggs a day. That's usually enough for most people. When I was like my lean weight was like 165 maybe years ago, I would have 2 shakes, 6 fluid ounces, half and half, 6 raw eggs with cinnamon. I'd have 2 of those a day, and I'd have 2 8-ounce steaks a day fried in butter. And I got excellent results, you know. So like I said, the concept of the 36 eggs a day diet is awesome, but do not necessarily just have, you know, 36 eggs a day. Just try, you know, try slowly. Drew K, Mike Tyson did neck bridges loads. He had an insane neck. He had an insane neck. You know, he was so good at knocking people out that nobody really knows about. You know, nobody really talks about his defensive training, his peekaboo technique in terms of body movement, and the size of his neck was insane. If you want to see someone doing like really good neck bridging, really advanced stuff, just look at Mike Tyson doing some training. He does some insane neck bridging. He had a massive neck back in the day. Definitely. What are my thoughts on bovine colostrum? Don't really have thoughts on it. Yeah, you know, every once in a while, like if I have, like I hurt like one of my tendons, okay, you know, and I took in some, and I took in like a certain type of protein for that. But other than that, though, I usually take either whey protein when I'm on the, yeah, when I'm on the anaerobics diet, or I take in like a milk and egg protein on a low carb bulking diet. But I don't really go into other supplements beyond that. Okay, I would eat eggs, but I always react to them. Yeah. You know, like I said, certain people have certain issues. Certain people can deal with certain foods better. And like I said, the other thing is just go ahead and try maybe digestive enzymes that might help you if you have an issue with digesting a certain type of food. Cool. Okay, good. Like I said, definitely, guys. Definitely, I'm going to be getting back, okay, to Instagram and to YouTube, the community tab, the stories, everything. Definitely follow me on both. Okay, follow me on YouTube. Follow me also on Instagram at Anaerobixx on both. I'm going to be getting back to showing a lot more of what I'm doing. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show more of what I'm just doing around the house, okay? Because like I said, I moved gyms, I moved house. I'm going to have to create my film studio again. I'm going to be redoing a website. I'm going to be redoing a lot of the programs that I'm offering. So like I said, I apologize if I haven't been out as much as I usually am, but definitely, like I said, follow me in both. Okay, what do I recommend for pinch and finger foot strength? I always wanted to crush an apple with bare hands. Crushing an apple with your bare hands, my Hapkido master when I was a kid used to do that. It's kind of like a trick. Okay, there is a trick to it. There's a technique to it. He used to say apples have pressure points too. Okay, so that is a little bit of a trick. Like I said, what I definitely recommend is you definitely start just hanging from a bar. Like I said, definitely recommend that you just hang from a bar. That is the best workout, you know, for like forearms and for crushing strength. Somebody mentioned towel pull-ups. Those are great too. But like I said, hanging from a bar with both hands until you can do it for 1 minute, and then doing it with one hand at a time. Absolute best exercise for grip strength and for the forearm that I can recommend at all. Okay, for sure. Good. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot to everyone that showed up, and I will see you guys in the next video.